Hello and welcome to Wings from the Cinemaware, a game in which you play a pilot, or maybe more depending on your performance, through parts of World War One, and you have to take on 3 different mission types: dogfighting, strafing runs, and later on bombing runs. The game is story driven. There's a journal that tells what's going on during the game, and it is not tied to one specific pilot. If you lose your pilot, which is entirely possible, you can make a new pilot even, and then continue the story. It will skip 1 week because, of course, your old pilot is getting buried and all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, the story will continue with or without you. Well, of course, if you select new game, it's going to restart. The dogfighting is the meat of the game, which is a 3D pseudo-simulation kind of thing. I find the aspects that you can look to the sides and behind you and all sorts of things to be more distracting than beneficial. So I will likely just be using the in-game mechanic of the pilot looking right or left at the closest plane to him. On creating a character, you have different statistics you can add points to, and each has an effect on various things: your ability to hit targets, your stamina, that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to make a character with an even spread, and if the character dies, I'm just going to make another character called the second, the third, the fourth, whatever, just to keep it going. The thing about this game is, speed-wise, on an Amiga 500 it runs a bit sluggish. On an Amiga 1200 it runs a bit too quickly. It doesn't like cache, and it doesn't like AGA, by the way, I'm just saying. So in such cases you'll have to get rid of those kind of things. But the 3D game, or the 3D part of the game, especially if you are stupid enough to, oh sorry, not stupid, that's a bad word, silly enough to throw 40-50 megahertz at the game, the 3D part of it moves so incredibly quickly you get blown out of the sky before you even know what happens. Because the game has a very, very bad habit of anything that you can't see will be moved at an incredible speed, and we are talking a seriously incredible speed. You have a plane flying past you, and then you draw your attention to somewhere else, and then suddenly you're shot out of the sky because the plane that just passed you went behind you and lined up perfectly and knocked you out. That's just what you can't see moves much faster than the stuff you can see, which is a bit, I don't know how they managed to do what they did with this game, but the timings can feel a bit wonky. I suppose there's nothing else to do but to create a new pilot, earn our wings, and then join the squadron and get the game going. So, let's add a pilot, and you can make 2 guesses about what he's going to be called. He's not going to be called Billy. But if I hit the right keys, I'm still sitting in darkness when I play these games, sorry. So, you can see flying ability, shooting ability, mechanical aptitude, and stamina. Mechanical aptitude, because of course we are talking World War I planes. Machine guns has a bad habit of jamming from time to time, and the higher mechanical skills, the shorter time it takes to unjam your guns. They always tend to jam when it's least convenient. Escape room done, we are done. Now we need to earn our wings. We have one of the 3 tasks we will be getting. Strafing was the test of nerve as much as aim. Passing the test meant knocking out 3 stacks of barrels without twitching on the trigger. Okie dokie. Let's see if we can do that. It should be possible. Very arcadey mode, this. Starts out easy and then of course it becomes more and more difficult, as you can probably gather, but that's just the way of the nature of the game. I want to fly at one of my wings and take my first step to glory. So, let us join us this squadron, shall we? Welcome to the 56th Lieutenant. I'm Colonel Farah, and I decide when you're fit to fly. Since you did such a nice job filling your transfer, you get to keep the squadron journal. That's another thing I need to say about this game, is there's an awful lot of text in it, and my French is not particularly good, and there's a lot of French words and that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to read up any text. I will happily give a summary, but I'm going to leave the screens up long enough that people can read it themselves by pausing the video if that's what they want. I am sorry, but my pronunciation of certain words would be so much off it's not even funny. So, anyway, let's continue. His first patrol, and he's scared, and can't blame him, can you? Then we get this task list of what we need to do, in this case patrol enemy aircraft and our flight group. I will describe what the other things are as we get to them. My partner and I took off into the ghostly sunrise. The gnawing in my gut told me we'd soon find the Hun. Sure enough, after a nagging lull, we found a pair of worthy opponents below us. They were close enough to touch. I don't know how much I'll be talking during this, but we'll see. Red planes, enemy planes, yellow planes are not enemy planes, so don't shoot them down. You are not going to be Mr. Popular, and if you're not Mr. Popular, you can get court-martialed. Not recommended. It's not good for your future. It is a bit basic compared to other games, but remember, we don't have any instrumentation or anything. We don't have any radars. We don't have any altimeters or anything. We only have visual references even. I can quickly showcase. The final explosion trumpeting our victory, we bid adieu. Oh, got both of them. That's something you'll find. If you play this game and you're worried about getting kills, your friends can do an awful lot of kill stealing. So we're not going to worry about kills. If we get them, we get them. If we don't, we don't. It's perfectly okay. It's a question of getting through the game, not how epically necessarily we do it. I mean, obviously, if we can get every single kill, cool. Another patrol, and of course, gas expands at higher altitude, so he didn't want to have to go up with a full stomach. Cute. The clouds opened up and left us staring into the gun sights of the enemy. One of him and two of us. The odds couldn't have been better. Well, they could have been. Could have been 7 of us and one of him. Yikes! I said there was a remake made of this game, and in the remake, when you shoot a plane down, it just falls down. In the Amiga version of this game, oh, the sweet taste of victory! My tally was on the rise. Zweitakers and Dreitakers, even they will spin when you shoot them down, and if you are close enough to them when you shoot them down, they will spin into your face. That's something that doesn't happen in the remake, and that's one of the reasons why this game is significantly more difficult, because you get eager to get your target knocked out of the sky, and then it spins straight into your face, which is lovely. Anyway, onwards. Yeah, expect this to update. There will be casualties and arrivals and all that kind of stuff. Complaining about the fact that the enemy is actually quite skilled at what they're doing, and we are being sent out on another patrol. To the pilots. There's a reason that is being emphasized, by the way. Patrol for enemy aircraft. Why am I running around with 2 majors? I suppose. I need someone to fill last spot, I guess. Squaring off an equal match-up, I took my plane as leader of our formation. The boys were depending on me as I steadied my hand to my left and initiate our peel. There will be these half-dramatic action sequences from time to time. Just move left. Then go daga 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 daga. One down. As you can see, the pilot is looking around. He will always face the closest enemy. And sometimes the closest enemy is going straight into your face, which is not particularly pleasant. And they have a very bad habit of kick-stopping. My television device. You usually only says that when it gets all 3 kill or all kills. Okay. I don't mind. It's fine. 1 each. It's usually an indication that you've backed all the kills on a mission. Colonel Farah is a real gentleman. He doesn't want us to fight unfair. But we are doing our first strafing run. It is very, very important to make a note of the mission, which in our case is a strafed infantry. Secondary targets are nice and dandy, but you need to hit 50% of your primary targets. If you have less than 50%, you fail. It doesn't matter, you can clear everything else. You can clear 17 secondary targets or 17 secondary objectives. Doesn't matter. You get 49%, it's a failure. For reference, Colonel Farah is not a fan of people failing. The same. I may need to pay attention to this, by the way. Hunters on parade. As we approached the front, we counted hundreds of enemy soldiers searching for us to gain new ground. You guessed right, they hadn't expected us even. So, unfortunately, of course, enemies tend to shoot back, so getting secondary targets is good for boosting your stats, but you still need to get your primary target done, so you have to be mindful of that. And yes, accuracy counts. It increases your shooting ability. The more accurate you are, so it's fine and dandy and easy and all that stuff initially, but trust me, it doesn't stay that way. I have to be very, very mindful that I'm actually getting enough of these guys. There will be one-shot cannons showing up from time to time, which is always good fun. And of course, there are neutral units that you do not want to destroy. So, this could smell like a borderline failure even. You usually always get a series of targets like this at the end of a mission. If it's a success, it's going to be right on the border. Oh, champion of the trigger. Thank you for that. Couldn't have been much over 50. Yeah, 61%. It's good enough. Doing one more in this part, I don't know how long it is, and I have tried to keep them on the 25-minute mark, so we'll see. So, 3 pilots been sent up to have a look around, and he's saying it's bitterly cold. So, let's see what a look around entails. Haven't written anything yet about our top-notch support team. Right now, they are clearing the ice from our landing area. The guy in charge is Sergeant Mackey. He's a hoot. Yesterday, he made a snowman and put a bush even officer's cap on it. Gave us all a few chuckles at target practice. I don't know why I decided to read that off, but I did. It can happen from time to time. Don't expect it. It's all for enemy aircraft. Hey. Looking around suddenly got complicated. There were 3 fuckers below us, and they wanted a fight. You can see that they got one. Fuckers, not right? Well, I know my pronunciation of certain words are not exactly unique. Great. Yikes. Okie dokie. Don't like that. There's a friend nearby. A blinking heck. See, that's the situation you know in from time to time, is that you have friendlies right in front of you, and you can't really shoot because, of course, if you hit, and that can easily happen, is that you have a friendly that's been weakened by the enemy fire, and then of course you just hit them once, and someone's obviously barbecuing our backside, and we got knocked out. So, if I can avoid crashing, we'll survive the mission, but it will be a failure. There's honor in victory, honor in defeat, and honor in just staying alive. Very, very true. Well, it's fine. It works. It gives me a chance to showcase the different mechanics of the game. But as I said, I have no idea how long this is going to be, so I'm going to call this a part. And if there's any interest, I will make another part, just to have something to work with. And then if there's any interest, I will happily continue this as a series. So as for now, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.